Good evening, Seattle, and thanks for tuning in to the Yesterday Show. I'm Michael Martin, and today we have a very special program for you all. Let's switch over to Tatum Langer with Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Joseph.
Okay, thanks, Michael. I have a few questions for you. Fire away. Mary, what made you say yes to God about being Jesus' mother? I mean, you're not married, and you could get stoned to death or killed for doing this.
To be honest, I was scared, and especially frightened. But I believed that God had an important plan for me, as He does for everybody. I trusted in my loving and one true God that He would do what was right for me.
That brings up a good point. But could you trust God to work out every problem that you encounter if you submitted yourself to His will?
I know He will help me along the way because I offered myself to His will when I agreed to be the mother of Jesus as He wished. But I know that He won't solve every problem. He chose me for a reason. I will still have to solve some of my own problems.
Wow. Our viewers would love to hear this, but don't you ever feel afraid?
I do feel afraid because I know that Jesus is very special and that He will have some threats in His life. But I know that God will be with us.
This is truly amazing, Mary. Now, what about Joseph?
Well, Joseph is very protective, but I hope that my relationship with him develops and gets deeper. After all, it was an arranged marriage.
That's true, and thank you so much for meeting me.
Thank you.
Oh, now Joseph, we have some questions for you. Like being the earthly father of Jesus.
Look, I am a man of strong beliefs, and I strive to do what is right, but also to do it in the right way. And when it comes to my job as being a father to Jesus, I am doing my best to look out for him and to make sure he doesn't get hurt, which can be a little stressful.
You seem very determined, and are you trying to be the same exact father to Jesus as God would be and do what he would do?
I mean, I try to do that, but the thing is, I'm not perfect. God is flawless, and therefore, he is a father to Jesus that I could never be.
Thank you so much. Now back to you, Michael.
Thanks, Tatum. Mary and Joseph are definitely two people that we should look up to, as they do as the Lord wishes, which can be hard sometimes. Now, let's head over to Nolan Dennehy with Luke, the prophet.
Right on, Michael. Now, I am here with the prophet Luke with some questions. So, what inspired you to write the birth story of Christ, Luke?
Well, first of all, I didn't know Jesus personally, but I talked with many of the apostles, as well as others who were eyewitnesses to special events or moments in the Lord's life. I've decided, after investigating everything accurately and new, to write it down in an orderly sequence for you.
Thank you. And why is John so important, Luke?
Well, John is important because he is called the prophet of the Most High, for he will go before the Lord to prepare his new ways, to give his people knowledge of salvation through the forgiveness of their sins.
Wow, what wise words. Now, why did the angel of the Lord appear to the shepherds to announce the birth of Jesus?
The angel of the Lord said to the shepherds, "Do not be afraid, for behold, I proclaim to you good news of great joy that will be for all people." The announcement of Jesus' birth to the shepherds is in keeping with my theme that the lowly are singled out as the recipients of God's favor and blessings.
Back to you, Michael. This has been Nolan Denny.
Are you okay? Thanks, Nolan. Next, John will be meeting with Sarah, who is a descendant of the prophet Isaiah.
Hi, everybody. As Michael said, I'm here with a descendant of the prophet Isaiah. Now, Sarah, of course you know that your grandfather prophesied that a pure young woman would give birth to God's son. What were Isaiah's words?
My grandfather said, "Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall name him Emmanuel."
Wow, that's amazing considering this actually happened. So did Isaiah receive visions from God that led him to saying this?
Of course. He lived in Jerusalem, and the prophecies God gave him were directed toward Israel, Judah, and other nations. God revealed through Isaiah that Jesus would come to earth, be born first as human to deal with sin.
Do you wish you could have met Isaiah?
Of course, but his history has been passed down personally in such detail that it's like I have met him.
Man, he must have been a real role model for you growing up. Well, Sarah, thank you for joining us. Back to you, Michael.
Good job, John. And thank you, Sarah, for teaching us about Isaiah on a different level. Obviously, you're following in his footsteps, Sarah. Okay, for the last segment of our show, let's hear what our meteorologist Tim has to say about the weather in Bethlehem.
Thanks, Michael. The temperature will be dropping below 45 degrees in the general area of Bethlehem, with some moderate showers. We will be seeing an extraordinary star, which will be glinting over a small stable in Bethlehem. Scientists are still puzzled by why this star is occurring, but and more research is being put on it right now. Back to you.
Okay, Tim, and thank you everybody for watching the Yesterday Show, and we'll see you tomorrow. Or yesterday.